starting with our first habit. The first habit you should prioritize building is controlling your tension. Tension management involves deliberately gripping your mouse with a certain amount of pressure depending on the aim situation presented to you. Having good management of your grip is vital in avoiding muscle fatigue, as it's a very common bad habit for a lot of players to consistently grip their mouse with a death grip, where they'll hold their mouse incredibly tight to the point of tensing their hand or arm as if the mouse isn't going to willingly move with them. But it's also common for people to have little to no grip by having a very loose grip. While this won't cause too much fatigue, it will lead to inconsistent control over the mouse, and it limits your speed and accuracy, as you don't benefit from having strong control over your mouse in those tense situations. So instead of relying on a single default tension when holding your mouse, you should ideally develop the habit of switching between a tight controlled grip and a loose calm grip. That way you can utilize the benefits from both types of tension depending on the situation that you're in. We can use the concept of active and passive aim to identify what amount of tension we need for the task. For example, someone suddenly swings from an angle you're not aiming at, requiring a snappy flick from you to shoot them in time, and this would be our active aim, since you're reacting to a target on your screen and you're adjusting your crosshair for a gunfight. Or, on the other hand, simply you're not in an engagement and you're placing your crosshair when pre-aiming or tracking a corner, and that would be your passive aim, as you're proactively placing your crosshair in an optimal position for a potential engagement. If you're unsure about how much tension you should use when gripping your mouse, here's how to check. Go into the range and turn on static bots and start shooting as usual. As you get into a rhythm, pay attention to your grip and know whether or not you're squeezing too tightly, as if you'd break an egg from using too much force, or too loosely, making it hard to have precise control of your aim. And if you're still uncertain, try deathmatch. Focus on whether your grip tightens during intense moments or if it remains steady throughout, and either can indicate issues with tension management. If you want to improve your tension management, here's what you should do. Be actively mindful of the tension you're applying to your mouse, and every time that you die, just think back to the seconds before and assess whether your death was caused by potentially death gripping your mouse out of panic, or if you lacked the reaction to adapt your grip to the correct scenario. If you still have trouble manually switching between the correct tension strengths, you can do a drill in the range to help you fix it. Just as before, start the static bots up again. However, this time, instead of shooting them from the default position, go into the middle of all the bots and buy a guardian and shoot about 3 to 4 of them in front of you, and do this with medium tension. Then do a 180 flick with low tension and repeat the cycle. By repeating this process, you'll build a habit of controlling your grip strength on the fly, and this will lead to having more consistent performance in regard to your aim, while also increasing your stamina before your arm starts to get tired, especially in long play sessions.